If you've ever thought about getting a job and believe it's the only way to achieve financial security, you need to hear this. Robert Kiyosaki, the billionaire behind Rich Dad, Poor Dad, has a powerful warning. Never get a job if you want to build true wealth. Yes, it sounds crazy, but he explains why having a job could be the worst decision for your financial life. And if you feel trapped in a cycle of hard work without ever achieving the freedom you desire, this is for you. The pain is real. Working for years, wearing yourself out, and never having control over your own future. But it doesn't have to be that way. The solution Kiyosaki presents is understanding how to make money work for you instead of you working for it. If you want to escape this trap and create a path to true financial freedom, stay with me until the end of this video. I'll show you exactly what billionaire Kiyosaki reveals about why traditional jobs will never make you rich. And now, let's dive into the first lesson. But before that, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because the upcoming videos will be part of a series designed to help you transform your financial life for the better. Imagine you are playing a video game, and the goal is to become the most powerful hero of all. But instead of choosing weapons and skills that help you grow, you're forced to use tools that only make you weaker. Strange, right? This is how Robert Kiyosaki describes having a job. He says that when you work just for a paycheck, it's like your brain is always playing in easy mode, without gaining experience or leveling up. He believes the system was created to keep people playing at the same level forever, never becoming a great hero. Think about school. There, you learn to be a doctor, a lawyer, or a teacher. But has anyone ever taught you how to become a millionaire? The answer is no. School prepares you to get a job, not to achieve financial freedom. It's like everyone is trained to be a good team player, but no one is taught how to be the team leader. Kiyosaki says that when you accept this situation without questioning it, you'll never unlock the true powers you need to win in the game of life. The sooner you realize this, the sooner you can start playing for real, finding ways to truly grow and reach the next level. Imagine you're in a magical school, full of teachers who teach incredible spells, but none of them show you how to cast the most important spell, the spell of wealth. Strange, isn't it? Robert Kiyosaki believes the educational system is exactly like this. It teaches you to excel at many things: a doctor who saves lives, an engineer who builds bridges, or a lawyer who wins important cases. But when it comes to money, it's as if everyone forgot to teach the main magic for achieving financial freedom. He says this happens because the system was designed to create great workers, not great millionaires. It's like you're being trained to be part of the machinery, but never to build your own machine. The result? Millions of people spend their lives working hard but never learning how to truly make money work for them. It's a bit like learning how to use a magic wand without ever knowing how to cast spells that change your life. If children were taught early on about investments, saving, and making money grow, perhaps the world would be different. Robert Kiyosaki believes that mindset is the first step to changing your financial life. He explains that when you constantly say things like, "I can't," or "that's impossible," you are training your brain to give up before even trying. It's as if those words are a barrier blocking any chance of growth or success. If you believe you can't do something, you're unlikely to even try, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead, Kiyosaki suggests being careful with what you say, because our words shape our reality. The big issue is that many people have been conditioned to think this way since childhood. They grow up hearing their parents or others repeating the same limiting words, and it becomes part of their mindset. Instead of facing challenges and seeking solutions, these people get used to avoiding problems or giving up easily. Changing this way of thinking is essential for financial success. Replacing "I can't" with "how can I" opens the mind and helps in finding new possibilities. Robert Kiyosaki shares an experience that many find interesting. He had two role models in life, whom he called Rich Dad and Poor Dad. These two men had completely different ways of thinking about money, and Kiyosaki learned a lot by observing how each of them approached the financial world. The Poor Dad was highly educated, with a doctorate, but he always talked about stability, secure salaries, and how hard it was to make money. He reinforced the idea that life was full of limitations. If you grew up listening to someone like that, you'd probably believe you could never go beyond those limits. The Rich Dad, on the other hand, was different. He didn't have a college degree, but he had a mindset full of possibilities. Instead of focusing on what he couldn't do, Rich Dad talked about opportunities, investments, and growth. He taught Kiyosaki to see money as a tool, not something to fear. This shows that the way we think about money is learned. If we hear from an early age that we need to be cautious and accept life as it is, we're unlikely to take risks or dream big. The choice is in how you want to shape your own mindset. If you notice you're always thinking like the Poor Dad, maybe it's time to change. Don't be afraid to think big and go after what you want. After all, the first step to financial success is believing it's possible. So, have you been thinking like the Poor Dad or the Rich Dad? Share in the comments, and I'll help you out. Imagine you have two advisors in your life, like characters who give you opposite advice in your head. One of them is the Poor Dad, always serious and worried. He teaches you to be cautious, not to take risks, and to keep your feet on the ground. Don't dream too big, he says. Life is tough, so focus on getting a secure job and don't risk what you've already achieved. Poor Dad may sound sensible, but his words are filled with fear and limitations. as if the world is a dangerous place where failure is always lurking. On the other side, we have the rich dad. He doesn't wear a suit or have a diploma on the wall, but he has something poor dad doesn't, an optimistic view of money. Why not try something new? He asks with a confident smile. There are so many ways to grow, and risk is part of the journey. Rich dad sees the world as a place full of opportunities. Instead of saying, "We can't afford that," he suggests, "How can we make that happen?" He turns challenges into learning opportunities. Robert Kiyosaki lived with these two real-life advisors, his poor dad and his rich dad, and observed how their contrasting advice shaped his destiny. Poor dad, with all his fear, would have kept him stuck in his comfort zone. But rich dad, even without degrees, showed him how to think big and pursue financial freedom. Now, imagine you have these two advisors inside you. Who will you listen to today? Who will help you see money not as an obstacle but as a tool to achieve your dreams? Now, let's talk about how the words you use can change everything. You know when you're playing a tough game and start saying, "I'll never beat this level"? Just by saying it, you feel less motivated, and your chances of losing increase. This is what Robert Kiyosaki calls the power of words. He explains that if you keep saying things like, "I can't afford that," or "I don't have time," you're closing your mind and limiting your opportunities. Every time you repeat these phrases, it's like locking the door to your own creativity and blocking any solutions from coming in. But what if you changed your language? Instead of saying, "I can't," why not ask, "How can I do this?" It's a small shift, but it makes a huge difference. When you ask how, your mind starts looking for answers, ideas, and paths you might not have noticed before. It's like opening a window and letting fresh air into a stuffy room. Suddenly, you feel more motivated and capable of finding solutions. Think about the times when you felt stuck, not knowing what to do. Now, imagine if you had asked a question instead of accepting a no as the final answer. Kiyosaki challenges us to train our minds to always look for possibilities. If you keep saying you can't, that becomes your reality. But if you start asking how, you create space for the unexpected, and that can change your financial life. Many people don't realize that what they learned about money in childhood might still be influencing their financial decisions today. Robert Kiyosaki states that financial conditioning is passed down through generations and transmitted from family to family. For example, if you grew up hearing that rich people are bad or that money is the root of all problems, it's likely you've developed a negative view of wealth without even noticing. These limiting beliefs take root and can sabotage your chances of prosperity, even if you work hard. The problem is that most people don't even know they are conditioned. It's a cycle. Parents who struggle with money teach their children to fear risk, focus on stability, and avoid anything that seems uncertain. This is reinforced by a society that values the security of a fixed salary over encouraging entrepreneurial thinking. This mindset keeps people in the same situation, generation after generation, never learning how to use money intelligently. The good news is that this mindset can be changed. Kiyosaki believes that by recognizing these limiting beliefs, you can start reprogramming your mind. It takes practice, but it's possible. Instead of focusing on fear and scarcity, you can adopt a growth mindset, seeking ways to learn, invest, and prosper. No matter where you come from, there is always a way to change your thinking and, in turn, change your financial future. Robert Kiyosaki uses striking examples to show how a person's mindset can affect their future, even if they have access to large sums of money. He mentions stories of lottery winners and athletes who, despite earning millions, end up broke after just a few years. How does this happen? Because even though the money comes, the mindset hasn't changed. These people still think like someone poor, without the knowledge or discipline to manage their finances. The money disappears because their financial behavior doesn't match the unexpected windfall. This isn't limited to extreme cases. Many people who receive salary raises or bonuses end up spending everything quickly because they were never educated to think about investments or creating new income streams. It's a cycle. Without the right mindset, any financial gain is seen as temporary rather than an opportunity for growth. Having more money doesn't solve the problem if you don't change the way you think about it. To break this cycle, Kiyosaki suggests that people begin educating themselves financially. Learning to invest, control spending, and create sustainable wealth is what truly makes a difference. It's not just about how much money you have, but how you manage it. Financial freedom, according to Robert Kiyosaki, goes beyond having a lot of money. It's about having control over your finances and living without the constant stress caused by bills. It's understanding that money is a tool, not a burden. Many people think being rich means never worrying again, but Kiyosaki says true freedom is being able to decide how to use money, rather than being a slave to it. This requires a shift in mindset, from living paycheck to thinking about how money can work for you. One of the key steps to achieving this freedom is diversifying your income streams. Kiyosaki uses the metaphor of rivers of money flowing to you. If you only have one river, your job, and it dries up, you're in trouble. But if you have multiple streams of income, such as a side business, investments, or even passive income, you feel more secure. It's like having a plan B, C, or even D. This security allows you to have peace of mind and protect yourself from unexpected events. Diversifying your income streams also opens doors to growth. It's not just about avoiding disaster, but finding new ways to prosper. You can start small without giving up everything at once. The important thing is to start thinking beyond a fixed salary and explore other options. When you realize there are multiple ways to make money, you become more confident and prepared to face challenges. After all, money shouldn't control you, you should control it. Think of your financial life as a road trip. You wouldn't start driving without knowing your destination, right? Robert Kiyosaki compares financial planning to having a GPS to guide your journey. And that GPS is your budget. Imagine you're going on a long trip. You need to ensure you have enough fuel, a detailed map, and a plan for stops. Without this, you risk getting lost or running out of gas. That's how money works without a budget. You lose track or spend everything before reaching your goals. Kiyosaki explains that a budget isn't just a list of numbers, it's a powerful strategy. It shows you where your money is going, helping you make smarter decisions. It's like having a clear vision of the road ahead, avoiding financial pitfalls like impulsive spending. When you follow your budget, it's like following the right map, saving time and resources. Imagine a friend who spends without planning and ends the month unsure of how to pay their bills. Now think of someone who knows how much they can spend, what they should save, and how to invest. That person sleeps soundly, in control of their journey. With a budget, you are the driver choosing the destination, not the lost passenger. Don't let your money take you somewhere you didn't choose. Now let's talk about one of the biggest obstacles to financial freedom: debt. Robert Kiyosaki describes debt as heavy chains that keep you stuck in the same place. Imagine two people. One is drowning in debt, constantly worried about bills, interest rates, and overdue payments. The other lives free, without having to stress over negative balances or never-ending statements. The difference between them isn't just money, but what the freedom from debt provides: peace of mind and the ability to plan for the future without fear. Kiyosaki insists that eliminating debt should be one of your top priorities. He explains that as long as you're paying interest, you're working for others, not for yourself. It's like rowing a boat with a hole in the bottom. No matter how hard you try, you can never move forward. Every payment you make patches the boat temporarily, but the goal is to fix the hole for good. That way, you can navigate freely, invest, and use your money to grow. Getting rid of debt is the first step to regaining control of your financial life. It may require sacrifices, but the relief of being free from those chains is worth it. Once you're debt-free, you'll have the power to make decisions without being guided by fear. Another crucial point Robert Kiyosaki highlights is the importance of having an emergency fund. He explains that this money reserve acts as a shield against life's unexpected events, something everyone should have to avoid: financial crises. Imagine an unexpected situation, like an urgent medical expense or a car breakdown. If you don't have money saved, these emergencies could force you to rely on loans or credit cards, creating even more debt. That's why an emergency fund is so essential. It ensures stability. Kiyosaki suggests saving enough to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses. This doesn't mean being pessimistic, but rather being prepared. Having this fund gives you the security of not needing to go into debt when something unexpected happens. It also helps you stay calm in difficult situations, allowing you to address problems without panic. Building this fund can be slow, but every small contribution makes a difference. Even if you start by saving small amounts, consistency is key. This financial safety net is one of the foundations for long-term financial success. Robert Kiyosaki emphasizes the importance of investing for the future, highlighting that making your money work for you is one of the greatest keys to financial freedom. He explains that investing is like planting seeds that, over time, grow into trees that bear fruit. In other words, the money you put into investments today, such as stocks, real estate, or even your own business, can grow and generate income in the future. This is different from simply saving, as investing makes your money grow instead of losing value over time. Investing may seem intimidating, especially if you've never done it before, but Kiyosaki believes it's a skill anyone can learn. The key is to start with something that makes sense to you and, over time, diversify your options. He recommends studying different types of investments, understanding the risks, and choosing what best fits your financial goals. After all, money sitting idle in an account doesn't work for you. The focus is on long-term thinking. You won't see immediate results, but the goal is to build a solid foundation to support you in the future. Investing is about ensuring you can live more peacefully and have options when you want or need them. Think of money as a gardener you hire to work for you. If you plant the right seeds today, you can reap the fruits forever. Robert Kiyosaki sees investments in exactly the same way. He recalls that, as a young man, he saw many people spend everything on things that lose value, like expensive cars or designer clothes. But his rich dad always said, invest in assets that grow over time. It was a lesson he never forgot. Investing is like tending to an orchard. At first, it requires patience, but the results last a lifetime. Investing is the key to making money work for you, instead of you working for it forever. Imagine two choices: buying something that brings momentary pleasure or investing in something that delivers lasting returns. Kiyosaki says it's hard to give up immediate gratification, but in the long run, it's worth it. Invested money can multiply, creating an income stream even when you're no longer working. For example, instead of spending your entire salary on leisure, he suggests investing part of it in rental properties or dividend-paying stocks. This requires planning, but every investment decision is a seed in your financial orchard. In the future, these trees can bear enough fruit to ensure you never worry about tomorrow again. Robert Kiyosaki highlights the importance of never stopping your education on personal finance. The world of money is constantly changing, with new laws, investment opportunities, and technologies emerging all the time. If you don't stay updated, you might end up making decisions based on outdated information. Kiyosaki believes financial education is a journey that never ends. The more you learn, the more tools you'll have to make smart choices and avoid financial traps. Think of learning as a game where you level up. With every new skill you acquire, you become better prepared to face challenges. Kiyosaki recommends reading books, watching videos, attending seminars, and following people who understand money. You don't need to be a genius, but you must be willing to learn and adapt. Financial knowledge is a powerful advantage, opening doors and protecting you from costly mistakes. More than that, continuous learning gives you confidence to manage your money without relying on others. After all, no one cares more about your money than you do. The more you know, the closer you'll be to financial freedom. Robert Kiyosaki emphasizes the importance of having clear financial goals and actively working to achieve them. He believes that setting goals is essential because it provides direction and purpose to your financial journey. Without objectives, you end up being carried by circumstances, spending money impulsively or without focus. Having specific financial goals helps maintain discipline and motivation, even when things get tough. Kiyosaki explains that dreaming of a better life isn't enough. You need to turn those dreams into concrete plans. This involves writing down goals, setting deadlines, and developing a strategy to achieve them. He also suggests breaking larger goals into smaller steps, making the process less intimidating and easier to manage. It's important to monitor your progress and adjust the plan as needed without losing commitment to what you want to accomplish. He highlights that having financial goals also helps you make more conscious decisions. Every financial choice you make should bring you closer to your objectives. Whether you're saving to invest or preparing for retirement, your goals act as a guide, helping you prioritize what's most important. In the end, the effort is worth it, and financial achievements bring a sense of accomplishment and security. Robert Kiyosaki makes a fundamental distinction between assets and liabilities. He explains that an asset is something that puts money in your pocket, while a liability is something that takes money out of it. This is one of the main reasons many people never achieve wealth. They spend most of their money on liabilities that seem like assets. For example, many people believe their houses are assets, but if those houses don't generate income, they are actually liabilities. Kiyosaki believes that the key to building wealth is focusing on acquiring assets. This can be anything that generates income, such as rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, or even businesses that produce profit. The more assets you accumulate, the more your money will work for you. He suggests analyzing every major purchase you plan to make and asking, will this put money in my pocket or take it out? Additionally, Kiyosaki emphasizes the importance of understanding the type of asset that makes sense for you, based on your skills and interests. He doesn't believe in a one-size-fits-all approach. Each person must find the best way to grow their money. In the end, building a solid base of assets can ensure that you have enough passive income to live comfortably. Robert Kiyosaki also discusses the four main classes of assets that can help you build wealth: commodities, paper assets, real estate, and businesses. He explains that each of these classes has unique characteristics and varying levels of risk, so it's important to understand where you feel most comfortable. Commodities include things like gold, silver, or oil. These are investments that can protect your money during economic uncertainty but can be volatile. Paper assets, such as stocks and bonds, are another option. They allow you to invest in companies and earn dividends or interest. Kiyosaki highlights that while they can be profitable, you need to study the market and understand how it works. Real estate is the third class, and he believes it's an excellent way to build wealth because it can generate passive income through rentals. However, it requires good knowledge of the sector and careful planning. Finally, businesses are assets you can create or invest in. If you have entrepreneurial skills, you can start or buy a business that generates profit. Kiyosaki suggests choosing one or two classes that you understand and are interested in. You don't need to invest in everything at once. The key is to be strategic. The more familiar you become with these asset classes, the easier it will be to create a portfolio that supports your financial freedom. Imagine you're at a market full of options. On one side, there are stalls selling gold and silver, commodities, which can protect your money during tough times, but their prices can fluctuate quickly. On the other side, there's the paper assets section, stocks and bonds, where you invest in companies and may receive a share of the profits. It's like betting that your favorite vendor at the market will succeed and give you a slice of their earnings. But you need to pay attention because the market can be unpredictable. Further ahead, you find the real estate section, where people buy land or buildings. Kiyosaki says real estate is like buying stalls that, over time, can generate money through rent. But to succeed, you need to understand the business well, like a skilled vendor who knows how to attract customers. Finally, there's the business section, where you can open your own stall or invest in someone else's profitable business. If you have entrepreneurial talent, this might be the best choice for you. Kiyosaki suggests choosing the asset class that makes the most sense for you, just like picking the right stall at the market. You don't need to rush or try to grab everything at once. The secret is to specialize and, over time, build a solid base of assets. Now, let's move to the final lesson, but before that, I noticed you haven't liked this video yet. This is crucial for YouTube to continue promoting our content, allowing us to help as many people as possible. So, go ahead and like this video to contribute to this incredible journey of success. It's free. Robert Kiyosaki also addresses the fear many people feel when it comes to investing. He explains that the fear of losing money is one of the biggest obstacles preventing people from achieving financial freedom. This fear creates paralysis, leaving people so worried about the risk of making mistakes that they never take action. Kiyosaki makes it clear that the problem isn't the investment itself, but the investor's lack of knowledge and preparation. Ignorance is the real risk, not the investment. To overcome this fear, he suggests dedicating yourself to learning about the investments you want to pursue. He believes it's necessary to accept that you'll make mistakes along the way, but those mistakes are opportunities to learn. The more you educate yourself, the less intimidating the investment process becomes. He emphasizes that you need to start, even if slowly, and build confidence through practice. Delaying action will only let opportunities pass you by. Kiyosaki recommends facing fear with knowledge rather than avoiding it. Take courses, read books, join discussion groups, but never let uncertainty stop you from acting. Remember, every successful investor has faced challenges. The difference is that they learned from their mistakes and kept moving forward. We've reached the end, and now I want you to remember something very important. If you truly want to be financially free, you can't rely solely on a job. It seems safe, right? But in reality, it's a trap that keeps you stuck, always working to make someone else richer. The secret to financial success is having your own income, something that doesn't depend on your boss or how many hours you work. Think about it. You deserve to have control over your future, and that starts with the decision to pursue financial freedom. Use everything you've learned today as a push to take action. Don't sit around waiting for a paycheck to solve everything, because that's not going to happen. Now is the time to think differently, create new opportunities, and build a path where you are the owner of your life. Thank you for watching this video until the end. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to keep receiving more valuable content. See you in the next video.